Welcome to Bipolar and Surviving. This is a blog and now a podcast of stories about living with bipolar disorder and surviving. Whether you suffer from mental illness, know someone with it, or are otherwise affected by it, this site offers real stories of hope and survival. As always, feel free to check out our website at www.bipolarandsurviving.com. We are also available on Facebook and Twitter. Feel free to give this episode a rating if you happen to like it, and also to share it on social media. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy. Today I would like to talk about a few things. So, as you may know, I've been diagnosed with bipolar. It's a recent diagnosis. I was diagnosed originally with a mood disorder not otherwise specified. It took going to a different therapist for me to be diagnosed, I guess correctly, so to speak. I've been living with it on and off, or actually on full time, I guess, since I was an adolescent. During my high school years, it also manifested with the coexisting condition of OCD. I managed to beat the OCD thanks to a lot of hard work and therapy and some medication, and I no longer suffer from the obsessive compulsive side of things. So my main battle nowadays is bipolar. What I'd like to talk about today is the chemical imbalance type of discussion. So many of us who are bipolar have been fed the narrative that everything is a chemical imbalance, and that's great because it explains a lot of things. However, it's always a bit elusive trying to figure out, well, how exactly do I combat that? One thing that frustrates me about the whole chemical imbalance kind of scenario is that there's a lot of things that treat depression that aren't chemical. So therapy, support groups, things like that. For mania, I just haven't found the same thing. So it's as if as soon as I had that manic episode that I recently had, that it was okay, you just need to be put on lithium and you'll be fine. But I feel like there hasn't been as much support available to me when I went manic. There wasn't as much available psychological support. There was chemical support, but there wasn't psychological support. Even my therapist, who is amazing, kind of fell back on the lithium type of argument. So that's frustrating to me that there seems to be no real way to talk about mania and holding yourself accountable and things like that, other than just take your meds. So what I would like to do is I just want to quickly address that. So one thing that I've been doing to combat my mania is being very aware, to be practicing mindfulness. So that's been my main tool in combating my mania. I tend to take on way too many projects. In fact, this is another project of mine, so I'm probably still a little manic. But regardless, I have to be very mindful. I've been practicing meditation, studying Buddhism, and it's been very effective for me. However, I still fly off the handle. I still take on way too many projects. I still think I'm enlightened. I still think I'm divine and all those fun things that are associated with mania. And so it is frustrating that I can't find any other support besides mindfulness, meditation, and things like that. One thing that I have tried is going to a support group. I hope to return to it. I had to take a couple weeks off because I'm very happily a new father, but there are demands for that. So it's a lot of watching myself, having other people watch me, my wife, helping to steer me clear of full-blown mania, my family, my friends. I should nix that because I don't really have any friends. I'm working on that. It's one of my goals is to get some friends. Yeah, and so I guess that's all I really have to say in the general overview is that there isn't much available to combat mania. So besides mindfulness, meditation, and being mindful in life, some other things that I'm doing to help combat the mania include having fail safes. So if I do get to that point where I'm taking on way too much, I can rely on my past experience. Because at a certain point, mania is mania, for me at least, and it feels the same as it does any other time that I'm going manic. So I know what hypomania feels like because I live basically in a state of hypomania. When I push the edge and go to mania, then I know what that feels like. And regardless of if I'm being mindful at the time or if I'm being aware if other people are catching me or if my wife's catching me or whatever, I know what that feels like. And I know once I feel that feeling, I can back off. I guess the only scary thing is when I don't back off. What resources are there available for me besides medication and hospitalization if necessary? Um, I've never been hospitalized. I'm very lucky to have a support network that's been keeping me out of the hospital. Um, but at some point, I uh, I need something else besides medication and mindfulness. Um, so one thing that my wife has been prescribing for me, so to speak, beyond the medication narrative, she fully supports my medication use and my psychotherapy use and all those things. One thing she has been suggesting is my kind of addiction to loneliness. She's encouraging me to become more social. So that's one thing I'm trying to do. In fact, as I sit here, I am actually in Boston. I am at my cousin's wedding. I played some jazz guitar for his cocktail hour. It was really fun. I kept the party going a little bit during the cocktail hour. So I was very happy about that. And so feeling connected to the people around me, even though I don't know most of them because they're extended family on his side of the family, it just felt good. Not to steal their energy or anything like that, but it just felt good. So this kind of proves to me that I need to go out and rekindle some friendships that I had. I need to keep going to support group. I might join a Buddhist Sangha, just like a, informal meet or formal meditation group, who also does community service and things like that. Because I can't just live on the social connection between my wife and my son. As much as I love them both, I have other social needs as a human being. So that's another thing I'm using to go against the grain of the just chemical imbalance narrative. There's a TED talk that I'll probably post the link to that my wife shared with me, saying that chemical imbalances, they probably are a big factor, and medication definitely does help. Not saying that it doesn't help, but at the same time, the narrative around medication and chemical imbalance seems to leave something out, because I've experienced this, and so does the speaker in this TED talk that I'll post the link to. He says that he took medication for many years. I'm not sure if he's still on it or not. He took many medications, or was on medication, and he would get to a good point with the medication, and then the effect would wear off. Basically, your body getting used to the meds, and that happens all the time with me. So I'm looking for something outside of just being mindful and letting my therapist kind of keep me in check when I go out of the way. And so that's what this post is really about, is going beyond the chemical imbalance narrative. I still take my meds religiously. They help me a ton. But I definitely notice that whenever I do a med change, I might see a moment of clarity, and then it goes away back to the old same routine that I'm in, which for me is a constant state of hypomania, with pockets of depression every once in a while, and mania if I go too far. So that's all I have for now. I'm going to cut myself a little short on this, but there's so much more to say. But the main thing I wanted to express is that there's got to be something besides the chemical imbalance narrative when it comes to mania and hypomania, because I need something else. I'm in a very good place. I'm very safe, very happy, very healthy, but I need something else to see, what I can do to prevent mania and hypomania, besides the medication narrative. And I hope that if you're listening to this, that you can find joy in my experience with medication, my experience with psychotherapy and support, and all those great things. But I hope that if you are bipolar or know somebody who has bipolar, I hope that you can find some way to to combat your mania as well as your depression, because there's a lot of psychotherapy available for depression, a lot of resources. I don't think we've quite figured out the mania part, in my experience at least. So keep on surviving, of course, like usual. I look forward to recording another episode soon. As always, feel free to visit the website bipolarandsurviving.com. We also have a Facebook page and a Twitter page. So yeah, thank you for listening. I really, really appreciate it. I'm very happy right now. That's my current mood, kind of checking in, checking out. And see you later. Take care.